Three, two, one, and dun 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 dun. You're live.
Good evening and welcome to Chasing Prophecy on UPRN Talk Radio 107.7 FM New Orleans, where we discuss anything and everything beyond the scope of normal. Remember to like us on Facebook, now on Instagram and Rumble. I'm Johnny Nicasio along with my co-hosts Sean Kelly and Jason I. Petro from Pittsburgh Paranormal Society. They're part of a group of passionate paranormal investigators who are interested in hearing your unusual ghostly story. Any kind of activity in your home or business, they have high-tech equipment that'll pick up what the human eye can't. Together with their team of professional paranormal investigators, they will gather the evidence they find and they'll put it on a CD for you. I think it's pretty cool, or a flash drive. You can find Pittsburgh Paranormal on their Facebook page, Pittsburgh Paranormal Society. Drop them a message, or you can find them on ChasingProphecyRadio.com. Happy, what is that, week before Christmas, you guys? Ready for Christmas?
Yep,
Yes, I am.
I am, especially with this snow, the beautiful white snow in western PA. It's pretty beautiful.
absolutely.
It
I
was
think,
intense going to work.
Oh, I bet. I don't want to drive in it. No, thank you. No, thank you.
what did we get, like 8 inches last night or something like that?
I
I
don't
think we
know.
ended up.
I thought we had about a foot. Well, I don't know. What about you,
Yeah,
Sean?
About 10 inches we got.
You think about 10? And so you
I think
guys
it'll.
ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready
I think
for
it'll be fun.
Christmas?
All as ready as we're gonna
Uh,
get. Still gotta do
I, I'm
shopping.
I'm not. Due to this bullshit COVID, uh, um, my son's not going to come home for Christmas,
Aw.
and this is the first time in 30 years that he would not be home for Christmas, and I'm pissed.
Yeah. That's
It's
rough.
just not. It is.
That's rough to hear.
And so we're going to do the best we can.
That's all you can do,
That's
huh?
all. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you guys have any special traditions, Jason?
Big thing for us was always St. Nicholas Day. Believe it or not, I think it was December was the last weekend. I think it was like growing up. My dad on St. Nicholas Day would put up his little tree about a foot and a half tall. There'd be just like a little something under it. And that's definitely going to be a tradition I keep going with as my son gets older. So how about you?
Oh, we just have that big Italian Christmas Eve dinner. Well, we used to do what was it, 9 fishes? I'm not really sure. We just cut it down to calamari and some shrimp and a big seafood pasta. Yeah, that's all we usually
Mm.
do. What about you, Sean?
Oh,
It's my mother's birthday on
Oh,
Christmas.
that's
So,
special.
yeah, yes. And so we have a Christmas birthday party for her on Christmas Eve.
Well, that's great. That's awesome. I love Christmas. What's your favorite Christmas movie, Sean?
It's a Wonderful
It's
Life.
exactly the same as
Um,
mine.
yes, yes. That just and Ebenezer Scrooge.
What
Christmas.
about
oh, nice.
Figures
I'm
Ebenezer?
gonna go against the grain here a little bit. My favorite Christmas movie is Santa's Sleigh
Santa
with Bill.
Sleigh?
Yeah,
I don't remember that one.
yeah, it's
Me neither.
yeah. Check it out. It's like a horror flick. You know.
Figures. Sort of like
That
what's that Crankle or something? That one that's really Krampus.
Krampus.
No, that guy scares me. That
Well,
really
it's between
scares me.
Santa's Sleigh and what's the other one called? American. Uh, oh, I can't think of the name.
Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase.
No, it's another
A horror
American
one.
Was
Horror
it
Christmas or something like that. That's or
was it
Christmas
on the
Horror Story.
American Horror Show?
It's
Nightmare
The
Before
American Horror
Christmas.
Show.
that's a good one
Yeah,
too.
my son likes that one.
Yeah.
I'm with Sean with A Wonderful Life, and I think because of Clarence, he's a little the angel, Clarence, um,
Yes.
and my all-time favorite is the Mary and Joseph story with the angel, Archangel Gabriel, and that has to be the hardest job he had, Gabriel, to tell Mary that she was gonna be the mother of the Messiah. So that had to be the hardest job, and I think that's one of the wonderful stories. And I always like to watch the Christmas story on. It's usually on Amazon Prime because of Gabriel. And that leads us to our guest tonight. She knows quite a lot about Gabriel, I think, and she claims to have been visited by the Archangel. But before we get started, I have to thank my good friends at Audible. Christmas is the perfect time to give it a try. And you can try it with my Christmas story, Rocky the Rockefeller Christmas Tree, that's available on Amazon Audible. And you can download that and listen. Your little ones can listen to it as many times as they want. And all the Christmas specials, there's a lot of books in the holiday spirit that you can listen to. And on Rocky, I love how the narrator actually acts out all the scenes, and he does that. And all the narrators do that on all the Audible. They pretty much act them out. So, but you can download the titles and listen to them offline anytime, anywhere. The app is free. It can be installed in all your smartphones and tablets, and you can listen on all your devices. And you can go back and listen over and over. If you can't decide what to listen, don't worry. Your credits add up. So, but I want you to take a try on the premium Audible, and you can go to Audible. You can go to www.audibletrial.com. I think that's a backslash Chasing Prophecy Radio. Give it a try. But getting back to our guest tonight, for decades she's been drawn inspiration and guidance from the angelic dimension. I just love that. And she studied with some of the world's greatest wisdom teachers. Her mission in life is to bring heaven to earth. I think that's beautiful. And she believes we are here to create peace in our lives and our communities. Shanta Gabriel has been an energy healer for almost 40 years. She's the author of Gabriel's Messages and teacher. Her life is devoted to bringing heaven and earth by embodying the divine light. I love it. Shanta, so welcome to Chasing Prof. We're just so glad
Thanks
to have
so
you.
much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's such a perfect time to have you on the show around Christmas, and I think you're going to bring a lot to the show tonight. So, I want to know, how has Gabriel play? Everybody knows the story? I just said a little bit about how Gabriel was the messenger angel to Mary. But can you give us a little bit more about that story that we might not know, or you want to just add something to it?
Well, what I would add is that Gabriel has been on the earth and has shown up in many different situations. And when there was time for a transformation to happen, he shows up. And so I'm imagining that he's available for us even in this time. But he was the one that brought God to Muhammad. He was the one that helped the Jews escape through the Red Sea by helping depart the Red Sea. He was there for that. And, obviously that he was there for Mary too. And I can't even imagine how that must have been for her to have that experience.
That's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So
it was a lot just to take in, just having his presence for me too. And he's becoming much more available than not just special people anymore. So
I read a little bit about that you were visited by Gabriel when you were doing a massage or getting a massage.
Well, that was actually Michael, and yes, I was giving a massage because I've been a massage therapist and energy healer for a long time, and so Archangel Michael actually was the first archangel that showed up to me. And it was in a massage. I was right at the very end of the massage, and what I do is hold hands and just send light down a body. So that as I was sending light down the body, I felt this vibration, this kind of rumbling that was in the whole room was vibrating, and it got brighter and brighter and brighter. And I had my eyes closed because, we were, it was a special time, and so I was on my knees behind her head, and fortunately she just kind of slept through the whole thing. But I'm from California, so whenever there's rumbling and the earth shaking, you always think earthquake, and in this situation, I was living in Hawaii, and so it wasn't, it wasn't that. I knew it wasn't that, and usually the sun didn't come into the room like that. So I kind of cracked my eyes open, and there was this massive presence at the end of the table, huge. And when I asked who it was, he said he was Archangel Michael, which to me was like, nah, that doesn't happen. That
Right.
not to, why would he be here? And so I just kind of went, I'm busy. Come, thank you for sharing. Goodbye. And I tried. That was my response to having an archangel show up, and I just let it happen. He kept showing up for about a year in my massage room, and my training had been that if we are wanting to merge with our divinity, that if you get really caught up in your visions, because they are a part of spiritual awakening, they come to everybody. But if you get really caught up in them, it's distracting. That was the training that I received from my teacher. And so I didn't want to get distracted, and so I just let it go. And about a year later, or about maybe just a year and a quarter later, I was meditating in my living room, and I had one of those experiences again where the whole room started to vibrate, and it became really, really golden, and there was this massive presence in my room, and the same with Michael too. They were so huge that their wings went out the ceiling, and I had high ceilings. So it was just remarkable. But the thing about Gabriel was that I could see his eyes, and they melted my heart with love.
Wow.
And it was just so profound and so beautiful that I just surrendered. And then he told me that he had ways to teach me how to receive messages. And so then that began this whole relationship. And that was in 1990. So that's how long it's been going on. And it's not quite as dramatic like that anymore, but the messages are there, and it's available. And I teach people how to receive. So it's part of I think it's what they want us to do. They want us to be more receptive. They want us to take the time to be quiet enough to listen.
So
with,
when you first saw, you said now I would be terrified if I saw this,
right?
big, right?
Michael
guys?
was a little terrified. Yes, he was. Yeah. But not Gabriel.
No.
Yeah.
Sean,
So
go ahead.
when
You were
Did
going to
you
say
ever
something. I
wonder
interrupted you.
Yeah, Santa, when did you realize that, or did you ever ask Gabriel why he chose you?
Good question.
That's a good one.
Wow. I've never actually, I don't remember that I've ever asked that question specifically. I know that I did receive some sort of an answer with that, was because I had already spent about 7 years in in a spiritual community, and also with a teacher. And so I had been meditating for a long time, and I was receptive. That was and I had gotten very refined energy system, because I had worked as an energy healer. So that those two things make it possible to receive. But now that was back a long time ago, and the time we're in right now is a full-on awakening for everyone. So anybody can do this if they just
Really? I like to do
Yeah.
that. That'd be pretty cool.
Interesting. So do you
I can teach that.
so do you think that there's like a so Michael appeared first and then Gabriel? So do you think that was like on purpose for a specific reason, or it just happened to be that way?
Well, I since have found out that Archangel Michael was designated as the awakener of this time. He sort of watches over the earth during this really special time of awakening. And so he's kind of designated as that for, I think it was like 500 years or 1,000 years or something. I don't, these kind of things are not the questions I asked, but I heard that through the Rudolf Steiner group that they had said that he was designated as that. So what I think was that was kind of a testing the waters, perhaps, and I was not receptive to that one. He was scary.
Yeah, yeah, he's a tough one.
Yeah.
So you say
Yeah.
Michael's scary? Like, is he like a tough guy? I mean, he of
Wasn't
course he
he?
fought.
You What'd you say, Sean? Did you say something too?
I think he was.
Oh, no, I
Oh, okay.
disagreed with
Okay.
you about how
Yeah.
Michael was real powerful.
Very powerful, and that whole energy with that vibrating and so strong, and that was it was just a bit much. And plus, I was busy. I really was busy. There was a person on my table. So I wouldn't want to yell or anything like
Yeah.
that.
Perfect timing.
Do you
Yeah.
do you have to call when like you're? They say when you're in danger, you should call upon him. But then I heard other people, like teachers, they always say no. You have to ask Christ first before you can call upon Michael. Is there any truth to that? Do you know? I mean, have you?
I It hasn't been my experience. I've given Archangel Michael permission to protect me, and I'm sure that Christ is a protector as well. It's what we resonate with, and I think that's the important thing is what does your heart say, and what do you feel close to?
Yeah, I had to call upon him one time. It was a windy day. We were driving on, it's called Route 130 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it was just a normal day. And I don't know why I did it, but I said, I'm glad I did it. I always get in the car, and I told my son, I always get in the car and I asked Archangel Michael to protect us. And I said, I forgot to tell him, I forgot to ask him. So I go, Archangel, will you please, Michael, will you please protect us? And I am not kidding you, a tree like fell into our line of vision. My son, thank God he's good at video games, because he maneuvered it out, and we both were like shaking. Oh my God, I just
Oh
asked him to
wow.
protect us, and we almost got killed, and he did. It
Oh,
was like
that's
all of a sudden we got
amazing.
out of the way in time. Is I believe you should
That's
ask
a
us.
miracle. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
it was a miracle, I think, because we probably would end up, who knows. But yeah, I like to call upon him, and but he's the one that protects you. Okay, Gabriel. I always want to think. I don't know why I think of Gabriel as being feminine. I don't know why.
Lots of people do, and that's not the way that they've shown up for me, but other people fully see Gabriel as Gabriel, that this
Mm-hmm.
very feminine presence. So I don't they don't really have bodies, they don't have genders,
Okay.
they show up like we most require, that they can do anything like that.
Yeah, they can.
It's sort of like what you think they would look like. Maybe they just
I
kind of.
think so. I needed big wings, and I needed gold light, and all that shimmer, that, and uh, and I needed my heart melted too. So they provide that.
That's
So
probably their way to show you that they're the real deal, and to make you
I think
comfortable
so.
with them. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
So how many
Hey, Shanta,
archangels
with
are
all
there?
this,
There are numerous ones, and I'm really familiar with 8, and that be 7 different chakras, and then a feminine archangel that is the um, counterpart or um, feminine presence that goes with Gabriel, and her name is Hope, and she. It was only just 2 years ago that she showed herself to me, and she said that hope is one of the biggest missing elements on the earth right now, and that people really needed hope, and so part of her work in the world right now is building a new foundation of hope for us all.
Wow. Sean?
yes, with all this bad stuff going on right now on Earth, Don't you think? Do you think maybe Gabriel's having a hard time trying to get the word across to be peaceful?
Well, it does take receptivity, and people have to be willing to listen and have their hearts open. So a lot of people don't have their hearts open or their minds open to um, alternatives. But
Okay. Now, do you think there's a big war going on in heaven right now
no,
between the angels?
no.
No.
Why would they do
Okay.
that? Yeah.
Uh, who knows? With this world nowadays, who knows what's going on up there?
I know. It's just, in I think we kind of get what we focus on, so well, all of the dealings I've ever had with any of the archangels have all been peaceful and powerful, but a sense of well-being, illuminated consciousness, insight,
Yeah.
inspiration.
I think
You, you know,
I
Go
think
ahead.
Sean maybe met like the angels. Are they fighting against evil? Is the
Oh
devil
yeah.
awake? Is he in heaven? Is he on earth? Where is he? Are they fighting? I think that is that what you meant, Sean?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
close to it,
Oh,
yes.
a war in heaven. I couldn't imagine why there would be. So yeah, well, I can see that they are really strong, and I think the light is stronger than the dark, and they represent light on every level. And that's pretty much all that Gabriel's almost ever talked about to me. From the very beginning, he's talked about divine light and the power of light and how we can use light to change the world and to change our lives and to the one thing that he said, the one thing that I just noticed that my camera wasn't on. The one thing that he said that we could all do to really change the world or change our consciousness was to send light. To receive light into our hearts, receive light into our lives, and send light to any situation or relationship or person that areas that need help all need light, and divine light is a powerful it's like a living substance that holds God's intelligence and divine love. So
Mm-hmm.
those qualities of consciousness are really what can change the world. And so the more we focus what we focus on, we manifest.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask this. So it seems to me like nowadays more and more people are not like seeing the light, not as religious and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think at some point the angels are just going to be like, all right, we've had enough, and then just some like cataclysmic event to make people see? Do you think that that's something that might happen like
I
down the
think they
road?
already have. I think that there has been, that the cataclysmic events that were prophesied and have been for centuries, those things have been mitigated to a certain extent. They did happen, but not as horribly as it was ever prophesied. And so there's just, I think that the the
Like
scales,
like a
have
balance.
tipped. The balance has tipped towards the light. And what we're seeing, why it seems so dark and so awful right now, is just because, light and divine love pushes to the surface everything that does not vibrate on that frequency. And
Mm-hmm.
so we're seeing everything that's like up in the air, and our job is to really hold light and to hold love and stay in that presence with ourselves. Sending light is a really excellent way of being able to do that. But I think our job is to be here as in our hearts as much as possible and hold the light up for all that's beautiful and all that's in harmony. And those, and really those are important. It's not just, you know It's not the bad stuff that's so important. It's like this is a part of a process of awakening, and you know, this is where we are right now.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds lovely. How would you teach somebody to do that? How would you teach them to give light, like you're saying?
It's every morning I have a little process that I do. So I'm sure you guys know that we have these energy centers in our bodies that are,
Chakras.
yeah, the chakras that work on a really subtle level, and everyone has them, and they represent these qualities of consciousness in each of those energy centers. And there's an archangel that's represented in each of them as well.
See, I didn't know
And
that.
so yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the things that they have taught me, and that's been just such a gift. So every morning, what I do is just like call in light, call in divine light, and I call in light from the highest source there is, and I ask the light to fully embody this human form and anchor light and love on the planet, and I just bring light into each of the centers, remembering what quality that they have, because for instance, in the crown we have wisdom, and the third eye, or is insight and inspiration and illumination. I call it three eyes in the third eye, and that's Archangel
Oh,
Uriel, who is the
that's
archangel of
fun.
light. And so and then our throat chakra has to do with expression of creativity and compassion. And the angel of compassion is Archangel Zadkiel, and he's there so that we can give more compassion for ourselves, because we really have a lot of compassion that we can offer, but most of the time we don't give as much to ourselves as we really require for happiness. And then coming into the heart, and the heart chakra is so important right now, because there's been a lot of studies that have shown that the heart is our has more, it has more wisdom than the brain, actually. So the heart is the one that impulses the brain, and so a lot of the insight comes through the heart, and Heart Math is one of those organizations. It's a nonprofit. It's been scientific organization. It's been studying the heart for 25 years or 30 years. So it's amazing just to go to heartmath.org and see all the studies and what the heart really does. But it has a resilience, and it's held by Archangel Raphael, who's the archangel of healing and love.
Wow.
And so when we put our hands on our heart, we're actually activating that level of heart's compassion and love and healing power of the light. So we're bringing this light all the way through each of these chakras, and Archangel Michael is in the solar plexus, which is, that's our power center, so
Mm-hmm.
so this warm golden light that he brings into our power centers, like the sun, and its confidence and courage. We need courage to live
Yeah,
in a
we do.
world that's looking like it is right now, so that
Yeah.
we don't lose hope.
Yeah.
And so it's a really, really good thing to bring into your consciousness every day, to remember that's what we're here. We're needed. People really need our ability to remember kindness, and to
Exactly.
remember, yeah, love and healing. And then Archangel Gabriel works through the second chakra, the Svadhisthana, that he is there for creativity and balance. And one of the things he always says is that you can ask him for creative solutions.
Now, which one is
So
that? What's his name?
Archangel Gabriel is in
Gabriel.
this
For
chakra. Mhm.
creativity? I'll have to remember that.
Creativity.
That's
Yep.
interesting.
And so bringing creative solutions into every, try that sometime, because that's a kind of a fun thing to do, because if you look at something and there's just, no matter how hopeless it looks or how weird it is, he says there's always a creative solution. It's just beyond what we imagine. And so he helps with that. And then in the base of the spine is Archangel Sandalphon, whose presence is about well-being. And so he's really helping us to bring more well-being through us and for the planet. And then I always go way below my feet to what I call the Earth Star, and connect to that Earth presence, as well as the higher self, which is the soul star above our heads. So every day we're creating this alignment that is really important. And Archangel Gabriel talks about alignment and allowing and acceptance as our 3 A's, a really important thing to remember. Those things require our ability to stay true to ourselves.
Wow.
Wow, that's a lot of good information.
Yeah.
Too much. I'm sorry.
No, not at all.
But that is that, to bring light in every day like that. So then you're filled with light, and you have a container. Your aura is this whole container, and you just fill up your whole being with light. And our presence goes out for at least an arm's length, and so I just make sure that I have this full container around me, and it's filled with light, and that helps me kind of stay in a loving space.
Yeah, it usually helps like other people out too. Like when you're nearby, like people just would feel better.
Yeah.
That's true. It's true.
We all could use a little bit of that.
We all can, and so for us to be who have just a little bit more awareness, then that's really important to be able to hold that frequency, because the frequencies really change things. They are catalysts for change.
I was reading on your website about the messages. Now, do you get a message every day, or is it just come to you whenever?
For a period of time, for several years, I did get a message every single day, and my book, The Gabriel Messages, is based on that. And I have a card set that's based on that. But then it's not so every day now. It's not so every day now, but you can. It's like asking your higher self. Okay, asking God, what does my soul want me to know today?
Mm-hmm.
And then getting that. But I usually feel it if there's like a creative juice flowing, and there's like an altered state that happens, and so I take longer for my meditation then.
Did they ever come to you with like personal messages, whether it's for you or somebody you may know, like a message like, hey, you need to know this, or we're trying to get to so-and-so, can you please share this with them, kind of thing?
Not so much for others, but for that kind of thing, you have to tell them. I can, when I'm with somebody or with, in a reading or something, I usually will receive messages for them that way.
Okay.
And how do you do an angel reading? How do you do that? Is that just the same as like a psychic reading? Like,
I wouldn't call it psychic because it's way more spiritual than that. So it's a higher level of openness to be able to receive from that higher source energy. So it's not just coming from inside me. It's an alignment with higher source working on me.
Do you read with the angel cards?
I have had angel cards. I have my angel card that I read with. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that there's cards that can be really helpful. I think that we all need greater insight, and sometimes taking a card can like change your perspective, and then you have a little bit more clarity. You want me to take
I was just thinking.
Card?
Yeah, I was just thinking.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't prepare for that. Let me I'll just walk behind me. I'll get them.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
definitely.
I was gonna ask her, and I didn't want to. I should have asked her before the show, but I didn't.
Well, we got Christmas and eggnog and all
Yeah.
those things on our mind.
Right. and Archangel Gabriel. So these this is can you
Oh,
so
beautiful.
this
Oh, nice.
Those are
Nice.
pretty.
yes, my publisher chose that picture of Gabriel that's on I think it's an Irish church. It's a stained glass window.
It's beautiful.
Okay, so shall I just say what would be the best message for people to hear right now tonight?
Best message.
And it says loving others in their own chosen path is setting the energy that you want in your world. So it's like,
cool.
So people, it's, you may not have to stay with the person, or that may not be somebody that you want to be with, but loving them in their path, even if it's not your path, is what we need to do, really, right? And so that's one idea, and I guess we need another one too, because that we want to give loving kindness to others. That is something that is just so important for the earth right now. So important for everyone. Everyone needs that much right now.
They do.
The one thing that we can do is just be kind. And then a full relationship with your higher self is possible when you give yourself time to receive from the deepest resources of your being.
Wow.
So it's like giving yourself time every day to receive from these deep places that are open inside you and can be filled with the divine light and give you what you require. Also, we're filling up our cup with love so that we can also offer that to others. But it comes with us. It's like that. Put your oxygen mask on first, So you have to really be ready, and So I usually make sure that I have a certain amount of time after I get up before I have to go somewhere or do something.
Wow.
Is that like?
That's interesting.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Do you do a lot of that through like the meditation, like to really hone in on that? Is that the best way?
For me, it is. Yes. Yeah,
okay.
It is. So I think being still. Sometimes we're so busy, and just being still. Even if you just take 3 or 4 deep breaths and close your eyes and just come in back into your heart for a moment, it can change your whole day. It really does make a difference.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah. I was gonna see if do you mind if I throw out the phone number if anybody wants to get a card reading?
Well, there isn't a phone per se. I
was gonna see if I can ask.
Oh, your phone? Oh, you mean now? Oh, sure.
Yeah. Okay. If there's anybody out there listening that would like to get a card reading from Shanta, the call-in number for the station is 504-273-7379. That's 504-273-7379. If you want to get a quick reading. Yeah. Hey, can you pull a card for me?
I certainly can. I certainly can.
I'm always trying to communicate with my angels, but
yeah. So just say, what does Jen need to know right now?
Yeah, what do I need to know right now?
Oh, this is one of the most beautiful ones. I love this one. It says, walk in beauty, live in trust, and know the benevolent love of God guides your way.
That's
cool.
Nice.
Oh, I got a chill on that one.
I did too.
I got a chill. Damn.
I did.
Me too.
Santa, can you do one for me?
Sure. Is that Sean?
Yes.
Okay.
That didn't sound good.
I got 2, so I got 2. I'm like, uh-oh. Okay. Oh, So Shanta says, take time to bless that which you have and ask for what you want.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So,
How about me next?
Okay, so it's really important to remember that we when we everybody wants abundance and they're asking for what they need and so recognizing that we have already so much, that all that we have received and all that we've learned and brought us to where we are right now, and that's important because now we can have a choice. And so when you bless something, it sends energy. It confers energy upon the object that you're asking. So blessing is like a really important tool because it raises frequency. When you bless something, it sends energy. So you bless what you have, and say thank you, because gratitude also raises your frequency, and ask for what you want, because really truly I've heard that the angels are just waiting for us to ask, and that they have not they don't want to interfere, and so we really do need to ask. And if we're just focused on terrible things all the time, the universe thinks that we like that and want more of that, so we need to focus on what it is that we really truly want to receive, and allow that to come. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
Okay, this is for Joe.
Jason.
I'm looking up at the top and I've seen Joe Mataldo. So
That's the station producer owner.
oh, sorry. Okay. So it says, true wisdom and pure love go hand in hand. You must love all of yourself before true wisdom takes root inside.
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
I like that one.
So all those parts of ourselves that aren't exactly up to snuff and what we really want, that's what we'd like for us to be. We have to love those parts too, because we're all growing. That's why we have a body, is to learn, and so we're here for that.
Cool, thank you.
That's lovely.
And you're so lovable. So much love.
Yeah, Jason.
You're making me blush. I'm turning as red as my shirt. Oh.
So is it true that angels are more prevalent in this time of year for people to see them, or is that just a myth?
No, and I just got chicken skin. So that chill bit, that they in Hawaii they call it chicken skin when you get the little chills. That's truth. That's like that's the divine working in us. And as soon as you said that, I just got it's like, yeah. So I really people think about angels more at Christmas time. And if we're thinking about them, they're coming closer and they're closer.
My mom loves angels. Like, she had like curio cabinets full of angel statues, and she even had a giant mural of one painted in one of her bedrooms of her house.
Wow.
And yeah, I think she actually just messaged me. I think she said she's trying to call in for a card reading.
Trying? Let me see if I can
so.
see her.
Yeah.
You want a card for your mom?
Well, I think she's calling in the station. She messaged me, so we'll see if she answers or comes through.
Yeah, I don't see anybody in the green room. I don't see anybody.
Well, how about if I just take a card for your mom?
All right. That'll work.
There you go.
We love it that she loves angels.
Yeah. Wait, there she is right there. She just popped up.
She's on.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Hello.
How are you guys?
Hi, welcome.
That's my mother, Chris.
Yeah, I'm calling in to see the angel, angel card reading.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Sounds very interesting.
What you have says, gratitude opens the door to feeling God's love. So if ever our heart's not open, gratitude, even if it's a stretch, is a really important thing to do because it raises our frequencies. And so gratitude is one of those most wonderful attributes to carry. And sometimes, it's hard to be grateful, but we can be grateful that our hearts are beating, or that we don't have to tell our stomach to digest. It's like those things. We can get really, really basic if we can't see anything in our outer world to be grateful for. But
Sure.
I'm pretty sure that you're a grateful kind of a person. Anybody that has a mural of an angel on their wall.
Oh.
Oh my God! Yes, I do. Yes, I do have an angel mural on my spare bedroom wall.
Oh, that's so cool.
Holding a child. And I do have a picture in here that my sister painted for me years ago of an angel carrying my son to heaven, up the stairwell to heaven. So yes, I do have a mural in my spare room that was painted by a 15-year-old years ago. And it's beautiful, and I will not paint over it.
Oh, I wouldn't.
And my office here is geared towards my son that has passed away as well. I have a bust of Jesus, my son's pictures, the painting that my sister did for me, the angel holding my son. Yeah, I truly believe in all that, and I truly believe if you're open to it, they come through to you and show you at different times, that they're with you.
Wow. That's nice.
Exactly.
That's really nice.
Yes. I've had some experiences with certain things over the years with, I'll give you on my son's death date one time. And he sent a white feather to me when I was getting ready to go to work. And then I do cleaning of homes and stuff. So when we were at a client's home at the time too, her house is spotless. There's never nothing anywhere. And I found another white feather that day. So yes, I truly believe that they're there with you, and they do come back to you from time to time. They're not always around us, but they do make their appearance.
Yes, I think that is the minute we think of them, they're around us, because they're just letting us know that they're here. And white feathers are really interesting too, and that's I think that's one of the things that is just a kind of a precious little thing to ask for a sign. I had a friend that said whenever she starts to doubt whether angels are with her, as soon as she starts to doubt, she'll find a white feather. And I said, oh, I'd like that, and then surely enough, right at my feet, there wasn't a white feather. And so that happens.
Yes, it does. And today when I was working with the one girl that works for me, we were cleaning this lady's house, and I was vacuuming up her basement. And all of a sudden there was a white feather laying there. I mean, yeah, it does. It comes from time to time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
I had just a recent experience in September. Well, actually, it was in July. My landlords told me that their daughter was going to move into the house where I was living, so I needed to move out, and they told me on my birthday. So it's kind of an interesting thing, and I walked back in the house, and I'm kind of like shocked, I'm thinking, wow, what am I going to do with this, and then I thought, well, you know what, it's my birthday, so this must be a huge gift. And then as soon as I said that, there was a feather on the floor right in front of me in my bedroom, so it's like, how did a feather just come into my bedroom? I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, yes,
It
and as it turns out, my best friend on the other side of the country invited me to come live in her cottage, and so in September I drove across from California to Massachusetts by myself, and it was just, it felt like there was I was supported the whole way in really beautiful ways.
I have a question real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
Is it, how people say that when they see a cardinal, it's
Yeah.
a messenger, like an angel or their loved ones. Is do you believe that?
I've never heard that about a cardinal, but I mean, that we are always receiving signs and signals and synchronicity, to let us know that we're not alone. And I think that if that is a belief, they'll use anything to wake us up. So that's a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're beautiful.
There they
Yeah,
are.
that's it.
Yeah.
They are very, especially against the snow outside. They're beautiful.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Very
Absolutely.
beautiful.
You talk about birds. There was one time when my younger son was here with me, and it always happens either on my son's birthday or his death date. And I had a hummingbird feeder down in the yard, but this one particular day when my youngest son, Jonathan, was here, this bird, a little hummingbird, flew up right in front of me, maybe about a foot away from my face, and just fluttered there. And Jonathan's like, that's weird. I says, no, it's just a sign of what today is, and my son's letting me know he's here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do believe birds too, on, certain birds or certain times, yes.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
So I just decided to take one more while we were talking about this, and it said, there is never a time when you are not wrapped in wings of pure love.
Oh, I like that.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
Beautiful. Especially this time of year.
very much so.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's a shame I can't show you the mural, though, because it goes from the ceiling to the floor, from wall to wall.
It's pretty
But,
big.
I mean, like I said, years ago, a 15-year-old drew it and painted it from a statue that I had.
Wow.
If you can see it, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece.
15.
And that's my angel room. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's my angel room, because I have the angels in there.
Sure. There's a lot
Yes,
of
I
them.
do.
Thank you for sharing that. That's interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for sharing that with us.
Yes, no problem.
So, Shanta, we're coming to pretty close to time we have to get off. But what would you tell somebody right now, since it is Christmas, and Gabriel is a big part of Christmas? What kind of like a message that you could give us to send us off with?
Myself?
No, me.
For Shanta.
Okay,
So-
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But thank you. Well, he's saying that in that there's never a time when you're alone, no matter how you felt. It's like they are here, that especially Archangel Gabriel at this time of the year is super available. It takes a desire and a preparation. So giving yourself time to receive, and also to take the time to be grateful for what you have, and call a creative solution into any area of your life that seems to be troublesome right now, because there is always a solution, and it's just going to be very, very different than what you imagined. So
I think that's a great thing that you just said, because there's a lot of people they can't be with their family this year.
I know.
Right, just about everybody.
Yeah, I think that's great.
It is everybody, and I have I've really not had a family to be with for a very, very long time, and one of the things that has really made a difference for me is remembering what this time is really about, and that's something that takes place in our heart any time of the year, and that this is only a temporary, small moment in time, and to take care of our loved ones, we have to do what's best. And it's sad and it's hard, and but there's going to be a huge celebration when everybody is healthy and strong, and we can get back together again. And so to do what's right for people is, I think, an important thing to do.
Well, I think that was a wonderful way to end the show because
Yeah.
people need to know they're
Yeah.
not alone.
Thank
Hey, you're not
thank
alone.
you,
Not alone.
Shanta.
Yes, thank you very much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting
Well,
me.
thank you so much for joining us tonight, and it was so delightful and interesting. Tell our listeners, where they can get a hold of your book and learn more if they
Okay.
want to learn about doing angel cards or
Yes.
connecting with their
So
angel.
good. Yes. ShantaGabriel.com is my website. And I have blogs on there. There's a free meditation that just was up for the 12/12.
Oh,
And
good.
we're in a really important time. We're in an important time astrologically and everything right now because of this. We're coming into this really beautiful Christmas time. And also there's this time of connection where the actual stars, Saturn and Jupiter, are coming together, which looks like the Christmas star,
Oh, that's all.
because they're such huge planets that when they come close, they look like the Christmas star, and so that's like every 800 years or
Well,
so
that's
that's
great. We'll
happening.
have to check that out. I'm going to
Nice.
check it out myself too. So
Yeah,
thank you for sharing that
yeah.
with us.
God bless
Jason,
you all. Thank you so
and thank you
much.
again for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Jason, tell our audience where someone can get in touch with you guys to do a paranormal investigation.
You can reach us on Facebook at Pittsburgh Paranormal Society. You can see some updated footage from investigations and everything. If you want to leave us a message, we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Talk about your incidents or set something up to help you out. You can also check us out on Instagram, Pittsburgh_paranormal_society, where we just keep people updated with real raw footage that we gather. And once again, you can message us there as well, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Awesome. And please check out my author page and make sure you definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you think you would be great for a sponsor, please give us an email at chasingprophecyradio@gmail.com. So, guys, I want to let you all know, have a wonderful Merry Christmas. We won't be on
Merry
for 2
Christmas.
weeks. Have a Happy New Year. Stay safe. And we'll see you next year. And thanks again for tuning in to Chasing Prophecy.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.